is someone's best edition of the week. It's the Friday edition
Yes.
of here on Lagos Television. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria. Welcome to the show. I am Abimbola Bello.
Good morning and welcome to the conversation. I am Joy Olu.
And I am the somebody whose birthday is Friday. Good morning, everyone. I am Adebimpe Omotayo, and it's good to be back here on a beautiful Friday. After working, Kiloku.
Any party this weekend?
Kosi party? Okay, there's party on Sunday. Halimat.
Yeah.
Yes. My dear, how are you?
Adebimpe. Is this the same Adebimpe? I mean, did this Adebimpe get swapped overnight?
Abimbola, we'll be working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. After working, Kiloku. Okay, let's go.
Okay, so should we come for the weekend in your house? Since you don't have a party and it looks like you're in a party mode, should we have a house party? Maybe we should come visit and you cook and then we can just have some party. So by Monday we'll say, we'll
bring receipts.
I like your spirits this morning. More of this spirit. We hope the same spirit will come back.
Because it's Friday. It's because it's Friday.
Friday spirit.
Because it's Friday.
All right, welcome to the show. You know how we do it on Fridays. It's a feel good Friday. We try as much as possible to just get ready for the weekend, and just leave behind some of those very heavy and serious issues, but of course not without taking the news points for today. Adebimpe, which of the news points are you taking?
I'm taking the Electoral Act. Opposition pushes back.
Joy, which of the news points are you? Okay. All right. So let's start with you guys. You take the news points this morning. So who starts in?
Okay, I'll start.
Okay.
Electoral Act. Opposition pushes back as e-transmission faces firestorm. The Senate Minority Caucus clarified on Thursday that the Senate did not reject the electronic transmission of election results before the leadership passed the Electoral Act bill, contrary to widespread media reports. The clarification came barely 24 hours after the upper chamber came under fire on Wednesday following reports that lawmakers rejected proposals for the electronic transmission of election results and a 10-year ban on vote buyers and other electoral offenders. Shortly after the report went viral, Senate President Godswill Akpabio dismissed the claims as misleading. Akpabio also maintained that lawmakers retained electronic transmission as provided under the 2022 Electoral Act, a distinction he said was necessary to avoid legal and operational ambiguities. Speaking to journalists on yesterday, Thursday, former Senate Minority Leader Senator Ninaya Abaribe said the caucus was compelled to address what he described as a widespread misunderstanding of proceedings at Wednesday's plenary. And yeah, he said to put the record straight, the Senate did not, I repeat, according to him, did not reject electronic transmission of results as provided for in the 2022 Electoral Act. He explained that what the Senate passed was the electronic transmission of results, a position which, according to him, was also clarified by the Senate President during plenary. Abaribe stressed that senators hold public trust derived from the confidence reposed in them by their respective constituencies, adding that the caucus considered it necessary to address the issue in the interest of transparency. Yes, I will stop there. Last night when I took the news, I watched the video and I heard Senator Abaribe, repeat that they did not, reject the electoral. People, when it comes to mischief, they are good. It's just like, it's looking like in Nigeria, people just want chaos to thrive.
Yeah.
Yes. They just want people sometimes to have something to talk about and just ensure that anything from this administration, from the Senate, from the House of Reps, must be talked down upon. Why why would people come up with these lies?
But it's good that they have
I
clarified.
think go send to Abayibe.
Again, when certain things, certain narratives do not fit into what they want, they also try to arm twist those who are responsible and want to put them in a very tight corner to do their biddings or to just go in line with what certain people want. But I like the fact that this time round, the Senate stood their grounds and they clarified what they did. Because again, sometimes a lot of people do not follow to the letter how things are done. People just pick up the headline or a story, run with it, do not know the middle, the beginning, everything that has surrounded that thing. Just pick up one line and go ahead and, you know, just do what they like with the particular line that they've picked. But now that the Senate has clarified what they've done, it behoves on, you know, those who actually started that story to go back and see where they goofed and perhaps retrace their steps. Because again, there are stages to these things. You look at us as a people, what are we ripe for? What can we manage? Would we now go and do something that we do not have the strength for, or something that we... So they've said this is what we can vouch for Nigeria and vouch for Nigerians to do at the moment.
At this stage that we are.
Where we are.
Abimbola, I also want to hold our colleagues, as is the media, you know, I also want to hold them responsible. That what happens to investigation when you even hear things like that? Do we even bother anymore to go and, you know, fact check some of these things before publishing them?
They may also come from the bloggers and the online publishers, who again, when you look at the onset of where this thing emanated from, it might not have been from the regular media. It might have been just from people who were not properly trained to do these things, who also wanted to run with this story for their own selfish reasons. There are a lot of journalists now who are not journalists, but who are just there, you know, brandishing to be journalists. But again, due diligence needs to be done. And also, we just need to know where, you know, the sources of this information sometimes. Because again, these things are able to put the country on fire if we're not careful. John, let's take your story.
All right, 2027 political parties hit 20 as INEC clears 2 more. Ahead of the 2027 general election, the number of political parties in the country has grown to 20 as the Independent National Electoral Commission disclosed on Thursday that it had approved the registration of 2 additional parties, according to the INEC chairman, Professor Joash Amopiton. SAN, the newly registered parties are the Democratic Leadership Alliance and the Nigeria Democratic Congress. He disclosed this at the Commission's first regular consultative meeting with political parties for 2026, giving a detailed narration of how the Commission arrived at its decision. He said only DLA met all statutory requirements after a rigorous screening of a total of 171 associations that sought registration. Quoting him now, he says, you will recall that the Commission received a total of 171 letters of intent from associations seeking registration as political parties. The associations were assessed in line with Section 222 and 223 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, Section 75 and 79, subsection 1, 2, and 4 of the Electoral Act 2022, as well as Clause 2 of the Commission's Regulations and Guidelines for Political Parties 2022, where he said that out of the 171 applicants, only 14 associations satisfied the initial pre-qualification and were subsequently invited to proceed to the next stage. Of these, 8 successfully uploaded their documents on the Commission's dedicated portal. Okay, so they are the All Democratic Alliance, Citizens Democratic Alliance, Abundance Social Party, African Alliance Party, Democratic Leadership Alliance, Green Future Party, wow, National Democratic Party, and the People's Freedom Party. Well, they said out of the 8, only 2 qualified for the final assessment and verification of due compliance with the Constitution and the Electoral Act. Shall I go on?
Go on.
After due consideration, only the Democratic Leadership Alliance was found to have complied fully with the requirements of the law. He also added that, it says accordingly, the Commission has decided to register the Democratic Leadership Alliance as a political party effective from yesterday, 5th of February 2026. He said INEC would also comply with the Federal High Court order directing the registration of NDC. So, let me stop it there. It's a long read.
So which one are you joining now? Which one are you joining?
In fact, the more the merrier.
I like the one that sounds like green tea. Green something. Green population party.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's good. It's good that
the more the merrier.
Yeah, the more the merrier. It's good that you want to get involved with politics and, champion the affairs of your country.
Should political parties, they get money.
They'll get money now.
Yes,
money.
now.
No, yes, they will give them money.
Okay.
Yeah. They will give them money.
171.
When we get to the bridge,
and only
we'll
two
cross it.
qualify.
Many of them will, prior to the election, a lot of them will merge. Even if they do not merge, they will galvanize support for other parties.
The ones that have been recognized and
they will also be recognized. Maybe two of them have been registered. Anyway.
Closer to elections, the other parties will start to align.
Yes, that's what they do.
That's
and then they will just give their support to other parties or other candidates, even if they're not. So you hear things like, okay, we're supporting this candidate, although we are not collapsing our structure. But we will work for this person at the election. So maybe we are in 2026. Although it will start happening soon. All right, let's take the last story this morning. Kwara massacre. UN condemns killings as Turkey pledges support. President Bola Tinubu on Thursday held an emergency security meeting with the Kwara State Governor Abdurrahman Abdulrazak as national and international outrage mounted over the massacre of residents in Kaima local government area of the state. The meeting came as the United Nations and Turkey condemns the killings. Northern senators demanded a sweeping security overhaul, and the Inspector General of Police ordered the deployment of tactical teams to the affected communities. The deadly attack, which claimed at least 75 lives according to government figures, has triggered renewed calls for mass recruitment of security personnel, expansion of armories and intelligence capacity, and stronger federal intervention, with lawmakers warning that Nigeria's worsening insecurity, particularly in rural communities, now poses a grave threat to national stability. Also, the Northern Senators Forum called on the federal government to urgently recruit more security personnel and strengthen operational capacity to curb the rising wave of violence attacks across several states. The appeal followed the deadly assault in Kwara, Katsina, and Benue State, which lawmakers said had left more than 130 people dead. Chairman of the forum, Senator Abdulaziz Adwa, made the call in a condolence message issued in Abuja on Thursday, commiserating with the affected states and communities. At least 100 people were feared killed during an attack on Tuesday night in the Woro and Nuku communities in the Kaima local government area of Kwara State by Islamic militants. It's actually a long read. Let me quickly flip to the UN concern here. I think it's actually almost to the tail end of the story, where sometimes when you read stories like this, you're not even sure what else to say, but I hope I'm able to find where the UN. It's a very long read, very, very long read. It's quite long. I think that's, even going to almost to the end of the story, you still have so many people. And then, so I think at the beginning was where the UN and Turkey came in to say, well, this is where we need to also come in. But, when you read stories like this, two things will readily come to mind. And that's the fact that usually closer to election period, it is usually, this comes to bear. And, from the stories we also read yesterday, these communities that are actually, they said they didn't want these guys in their communities, they didn't want their belief, they didn't want their way of life, and they turned on them, and, this happened. There's just a kind of, there's also a kind of outlook that certain people want Nigeria to be seen as, or to be, especially for those outside, to see this country as unsafe and a place where you really cannot come into or you cannot do business. Whereas it is just, a minute people who are actually constituting themselves into these kind of human beings that are holding other people hostage. Because I don't know how you're human yourself and you're killing other people and you're happy about it because they are not conforming, with your beliefs and your ways of life. I really don't get it. So I don't get it. But again, what I think we might also be missing out is there's really no how these people can come there without community participation. One or two people in that community will be part of this thing, or would also be part of those who are also opening their communities to these people. There's no how these guys can be there and they are not working with people who have information. It's not possible. One or two people, recalcitrant people, will be there. And if you now look at it, they also may not originally be from that community, but maybe they've settled there for so long, and but then it can't continue to happen. Lives cannot continue to be taken daily. Is government trying? Yes. Will government need to do more? Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Abimbola.
We need to do more.
I like what you just said, because yesterday when we had Chief Darlington, the security expert here, he got worked up because when we were asking him questions, I just asked him one thing, that when it comes to accountability, who do we hold responsible, for this heinous act? And he said, is the terrorist. I said, no, it's the government. Government is supposed to protect lives and property. Yeah. And there was another thing that, got my attention when I read that particular story yesterday. There's a survivor said there had been pockets of attacks even before this one. Is it that none of the security experts were aware? They had vigilantes. Were they not aware? At the time, the kind of people they are. You know how they react to things. At the time, they rejected their doctrines. Did anybody report that? Look, this is what these people have brought to us, and just in case, was there no intelligence, acted upon at any time?
Yeah. I think sometimes people also delay in reporting, or maybe you just assume there is something that the community can handle, but there is really no small attack.
Or
once
they
your
didn't
community
think that
has
it
been
would
attacked,
escalate.
Yes, you just need to speak out so that things can be done. And for all you care, those people might also have been in that community before they even attacked. To have also mingled, to have also these things.
For a stranger to just come to your community and then start loading over you.
That's why they always say that when a new face comes to your community, what are you doing? Are you asking questions? Because again, people will settle in certain places for their own ulterior motives, not because they really want to move into that community. So we all must be vigilant. This thing goes beyond, just a one-size-fits-all matter. Anyway, we do hope that, this senseless killings will stop at some particular point in time, and government, will be able to nip that situation in the bud at the appropriate time. Those are our news points on the program today. Let's quickly move to the X platform this morning to take a look at one of the many trending stories on the platform. And jokingly, while we were in the studio this morning, we said, for you to, if you wanted to just have anything to be on the good side of President Donald Trump, just say you're a Christian. So, of course, our First Lady here is in Washington, and she attended a prayer breakfast meeting with President Donald Trump. And you know, this man and his mouth, he says it as it is. And you know, he actually, you know what fascinated me about him when he was talking is, she's a good woman.
She's a good woman.
She's a good
If I said, where are you?
Where are you?
Where are you?
She's a good person. I said Donald Trump. So, and for that reason, the First Lady of Nigeria is trending. And of course, a lot of people, for some reason, for the first time in a long time, Mama Tinubu is actually getting accolades on the X platform.
They are not dragging her.
They're not our mama BDC.
and you know, for some reason, a lot of people are you know, saying good things about her. Of course, this is the 74th National Prayer Breakfast in Washington, D.C. yesterday. And President Trump publicly, openly acknowledged and recognized Senator Oluremi Tinubu. And I mean, good thing at least. Nigeria is being recognized for a good thing. We know we're a prayerful nation.
Yes,
we love God so much. At least some piece of good news coming.
And you know, Twitter children.
Twitter children.
Somebody said, but the husband is a Muslim. How come she's a pastor?
Is she the first person that will marry
I said,
a Muslim?
please, we are Southerners, please. we have siblings
Is she the first
from different religions.
Is she the first person that will marry him? I beg. Let's move on. Anyway, that's trending on the X platform this morning. You can also visit the X platform to see why this is trending today. All right, we'll take a quick break. When the conversation returns, part one of our conversation will be here. And this one today, you see this conversation, and sometimes it happens by choice. Sometimes it happens because you do not have a way out. But gradually, it is becoming a norm where single parenting is, you know, something that, you know, it's becoming an everything day in Nigeria. But what are the realities? Are there times that you can actually guide against these things? Or when they do happen, what are some of the things that you need to do, either as a man or a woman, you know, coping with the realities of being a single parent? That's the conversation after the short break.